Happy Thursday. The week is almost up. Tomorrow, I cannot wait. I know Mario and I were talking in the green room and we're like, oh, thank goodness, it's Friday. It's Friday. I know I'm coming off of doing my personal brand builder challenge, which is a lot of energy. So I am looking forward to the weekend and I hope you guys are too. So this is a continuation off of Tuesday's live stream on Tisha Talks Live at 4:45, where I was reading to you out of this book, Love Who You Are. And I got to one page because it segued so beautifully with what Mario was talking today about habits of self-love. But I just wanted to finish the book so you know that I finished reading it to you. So we have a couple more pages to go, but this one says, love yourself so that the world can see how beautifully you deserve to be treated. And keep on loving yourself with joy and perseverance. Right down to the bottom of you as you love a dear friend. Love who you are. All right, and with me today is my dear friend. This is Mario A. Bayne. He's the president, the founder of Career Concepts for Youth out here in Arizona, in my neck of the woods. And Mario and I haven't known each other for several years. I think maybe just 2018, Mario, we met. And honestly, I shared the story many, many times on LinkedIn that we met through a LinkedIn post. I wrote a post. Mario connected with me, he commented, and the rest is history. I ended up reaching out to him, thanking him for that comment. And then we became just fast friends. We got on a virtual latte. I remember sitting in the parking lot on a phone call with him that should have been 15 minutes that went for like an hour 15. And the next thing I know, he's on my panel for Success Over Struggle. He's been on my podcast. He's supported me through and through. And he is just an amazing mentor. This man is incredible. He speaks so much life into me. He pushes out of my nest when I need it. And I'm just so thankful to have him here today. And today, I can think of no better person to talk about self-love. This is a gentleman who has changed and transformed hundreds of thousands of lives all across Arizona with his program with Career Concepts for Youth. So Mario, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so appreciative of you taking the time out.
It's a joy to be here. Thank you for having me. And you are doing just a tremendous job in making a difference. And I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. And Mario, before we start, you sent me this quote, and it's in perfect alignment with what we're sharing today, but this great message about happiness. It says, happiness starts with you, not with your relationships, not with your job, not with your money, not with your circumstances, but with you. So it's deeply ingrained in you of whether you wake up today and be happy or whether you wake up and say, I'm not going to be happy today. I choose to be miserable. And that's so much about what we're talking today on self-love. And you have talked about some critical components, these habits of self-love that we're going to dive into within this Tisha Talks live series. And the first one on what are the thoughts and conversations you should have with yourself around that topic, around how to love yourself. So I'm going to give you the floor to share your ideas and your thoughts.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of times when we are alone is when we have the most critical thoughts that we can conceive of. Give you an example. You decide to go get a haircut and you approach one of your best friends and you ask them, how do you like it? And they say, oh, it's too short. I don't like it. And you're just shocked for the remainder of the day because you wanted approval from someone that you thought meant a lot to you. And so the thoughts that do I find a place that I am content and happy? And I'll get into a little thankfulness and gratitude in a bit, but the conversations that you have with yourself is very critical to having self-love, empowering yourself to feel good about yourself, and not in a cocky manner, but in a self-appreciative manner that, you know what, I'm doing the best I have with what I have, and that's okay. And I think the thoughts that you have, along with the conversation with yourself, is very important to your well-being from a mindset of self-love. And then, of course, you have to go into your behavior of how you're going to behave after you have those conversations. Are you going to walk the talk or talk the walk? And of course, detachment. I think detachment is a very critical part of it because you have to build a circle of positivity, not a cage of negativity around your spirit, so that you can travel in a manner that if this person or this situation isn't conducive for me self-loving myself, then I will detach from it. And those are two critical points to developing and maintaining that discipline, which is a habit. The discipline itself is a habit. And then last but not least, I think that you have to find within your spirit the thankfulness and gratitude of the appreciation of self-love. So those are the components to get there, stay there, and maintain it as we go through these difficult times that we're having worldwide.
Mm-hmm. We have Carl Sean Watkins joining us on LinkedIn, some people on Facebook. So hello for tuning in live. If you do have a question or a comment for either myself or for Mario, please use the chat box. There are people that catch this on the replay too, and Mario and I are always happy to go back through and answer any questions. But Carl Sean Watkins throwing up here, yes, happiness should begin from within. Thank you. Absolutely, Carl. That has to be you. Nobody else can make you happy. I think that we get into this whole thing, and Mario, you know, we're getting into the holidays right now. And I remember every time I would go to church, you know, they would say there's definitely the temporary happiness. We can give ourselves that temporary happiness. I could go and get myself a whole brand new outfit and a purse, and it makes me feel really good for the time being. And then tomorrow I could just be like, nope, we're not there anymore. So I think we get fixated on a lot of that temporary happiness, what joy brings temporarily. Do you want to talk on that subject a little bit too?
I think the first thing that one has to do is define what is happiness to them. What does happiness truly mean to you? In a lot of people's cases, it could be a job, it could be something monetarily or materialistic, but deep, if all those things are true. And I have a saying that I say on a daily basis is, you know, thank you for my health, peace of mind, and happiness, because those three things are the core of my being and what I'm able to go out and motivate and touch people's lives. I think it's very important that you need to define what is happiness to you and really have that strong conversation, that true, authentic conversation of what truly does happiness mean to me. For me personally, happiness is being able to go out into the universe and make a difference. Obviously, my family, my kids, my grandkids, who I love dearly. I think those things are what brings me tremendous joy, sitting sometimes and laughing with them, helping them with their homework. So I think you have to define what is happiness. And then within that definition of what happiness means to you, there's a bucket of thankfulness and gratitude to reinforce it. And that's how you stay in that. And so the choice is yours. You can either be an asset or a liability to yourself, and only you can dictate to that. And I think that's important.
I like what you just said there. You can either be an asset or a liability to yourself. I really like that. I really love that, actually. Yes. I think I've been both too. I want to give some shout outs here. We have Tunahan on Dunku. I think that's how you say his name, but I know Tunahan is correct. This is a gentleman that's been in my live, joining us from Turkey. He's he's off of LinkedIn. So thank you, Tunahan. You are burning the candle at both ends, my friend. Like, you're there in the morning for my live and you're here for this evening live. So thank you. And then Rick Monte, it's actually Dwight Lamb joining us on YouTube. And it's your birthday, Dwight. Happy birthday.
Happy
and
birthday,
I know,
Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight Lamb out here in Arizona. He is he's one of the you two would get along great. He's a customer service ambassador over all the Bash's stores here. So really helping people make a difference in their,
Right.
in their job and just being more customer center focused. And of course, we've got Mary coming in. Happiness for me is to be successful in my business and to be able to help more people. Absolutely. I think that, a lot of people that tune into this Tisha Talk series are definitely of that entrepreneurial mindset. I mentioned that Mario is also president of Career Concepts for Youth, as well as he runs a consulting company. And myself being an entrepreneur, we all want that. We want to be able to help other people along doing what we love to do. Whether I'm getting paid or not, I love doing what I'm doing. Like, I love to be able to see people shine and grow and progress. And yeah, that's what makes me happy. So yeah, thank you, Mary. I love what you do, Tisha. Thank you. I love what I do too. I think it comes across pretty loud. I'm pretty energetic and boisterous about the things that I'm doing. So it's exciting for me for sure. So Mario, I know you are a published author, and I want to bring out the last book that you wrote because everybody, I was actually asked to be part of his last book called Life Skills, Understanding and Utilizing the Power of Self. So this is a gentleman that knows all about self-love, and that's why I was like, oh, he's perfect. He's perfect to come on and help me with this series. But Mario, do you want to share a little bit about what this book is and what it means and how it's helping transform people's lives?
The book is basically a story of my life, losing both parents at 9 and 18 years of age. And my dream to play a professional sport ended rather quickly because of a knee injury. And I had a very low self-esteem and didn't really feel appreciative of myself. And those who were around me kind of deserted me. And I was fortunate to be able to have still some support from a growth standpoint. And it kind of generated my career in the hotel aspects of hotel management with 3 major hotel chains. And of course, this is our 30th year now with Career Concepts for Youth, and my 5th year with 3 Steps Ahead Consulting. So the basis of the book was to have people develop a mindset through a purpose and a passion and an inner belief that they're going to build healthy relationships and visualize how they want to be happy, and understanding that the power to be happy truly comes from themselves. And with the fact of young people committing suicide at an alarming rate, I thought it was very imperative not to delve into that specifically, but to give them a tool to help them to strengthen their spirit, to be able to potentially not get to that point that then it becomes a no-win situation. So life skills is a culmination of all the years of making a difference for young people and touching other people's lives, but more or less in giving people a game plan on the disciplined habits on how to self-love and build a healthy relationship with yourself. Then you can. We talked about it's very difficult to be honest with something or someone if you're incapable of being honest with yourself. So when people that you encounter do that, there's the detachment formula. You can't really get upset because they're not being honest with themselves, and it's showing. And you need to be able to comprehend that and keep being strong in your pursuit of your happiness. Your happiness is solely dependent on your shoulders, nothing else. And we all have a story. We all have some type of an issue from a drama standpoint, but it's how you deal with yourself that is very critical and never more important than in these times that we have right now. So.
Hey, we've got some more guests coming in. I know this guy, Corey Bayne, Mario's son. Happiness is achievable and passion helps strive towards it. He corrected himself. It's the energy. It is so much about the energy, Corey. Absolutely. Thank you. And yes, Dwight sharing here on YouTube. Yes, 6 kids, 14 grandkids, live in the dream. I am happy. And trust me, this is another guy I met off of LinkedIn. He's been following Tisha Talks since I started, since day one. So thank you so much, Dwight, for constantly showing up and supporting this. But yes, I mean, you meet this guy and he exudes happiness. You just get around those people that you're like, I just want more of your energy because you just are so happy.
Well, you have done a tremendous job in making a difference and touching people's lives, and I'm honored to be with you as you go through this journey. It is very special and neat to watch. So thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to point out, so in this book, Life Skills, I have written one of the chapters, and I remember Mario giving me the chapter. He gave me one word. This was a couple years ago, and he's like, Tisha, I want you to write about behavior.
Yeah.
And I think that honestly, that was the perfect word for me because it allowed me to check myself. You remember what Mario just said? You're either an asset or you're a liability to yourself. And I could have done some real damage, I think, to my reputation had I gone a different route, if I just did the woe is me and nobody thinks I'm good at this, I'm not good at this. Like if I really would have gone there, but instead someone checked my game, I checked my game, and I started to rise from that bad behavior. So you guys will have to read it in the book as to what I wrote in Mario's book about behavior. But you're absolutely right, Mario. I mean, we have a choice every single day of how we get up in the morning and how we're going to act in the morning, and how our self-love plays into that. And I know for myself, I shared this even on Tuesday's live stream, that I've had to take some really good looks in the mirror of, I'm not really loving this girl right here in front of me. And when you get to a point where you're like, I'm not really loving this person that's staring back at me in the mirror, then you have that ability to change, to make those steps, to make those, even those small baby steps to get to that person that you want to be.
I think that's a great point, because we all been there. We've all had that look in the mirror. And, William Shakespeare has this great poem called Reflection. And, since those cannot see themselves, I, your shadow, shall reveal to you who you really are. So at some point, you have to make that decision that I want to do this. And then you have to be willing to have the discipline and the work ethic to make something that is beneficial for you become a reality. Although it sounds simple, trust me, I know it's very difficult, but you can do it. And the first step is actually defining, what does happiness mean to you? I am happy when I have and see the success of my children. I see what they have become and what they have done. I am happy for certain things. I love my red and white gummy bears, So, that makes me happy, right? I mean, happiness is that choice. And as long as you can define it and accept it and then work on maintaining it, I think you have won this battle called life. And it's very simplistic, but yet sometimes difficult to do.
Yes, so we have a great question here from Mary asking, is this book available on Amazon? I know you're working
Actually,
at
if you
that,
go
but
to
yeah.
careerconceptsforyouth.org to resources, it'll take you right to it. So I'd love to have some people take a look at it. It is a fabulous present for the holidays, because it really brings into focus the skills that are necessary to deal with this thing called life.
Yeah, so I will put that link in the comments too once we have the replay. But careerconceptsforyouth.org, Mario, and then
Yes, absolutely.
resources.
Right.
And then resources. All right, perfect. Yes, very good. All right, Mario, anything else you'd like to add before we start winding down this Tisha Talks?
Just wish everyone a very safe holiday, and stay safe, and best of health to everyone. And
All
thank you
right,
for
well.
having me on there. It's been a blast, as always.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So you guys know, I just have to share this because Mario thinks it's the
Thank you.
greatest, funniest story. The greatest, funniest story. Looks like we have a couple things. Desmond S. Barnes. I love this. I'm going to post some of these things. He says, Mario is a great inspiration. I've seen the great work he has done and the lessons I
Wow.
learned from him. I pass on to others and they think it's me, but I tell them it's Mario. So proud to know him. Ah, Mario. Great
Desmond
testimonial. Thank
Barnes.
you,
Hi,
Desmond
Desmond.
Barnes.
That's my guy. That's my guy. Thank you, Desmond.
Yes, and then we've got Tunahan also showing up here with a comment. So I want to make sure that I put these up on the screen. Happiness is not created by others. You should create your own happiness. Damn Skippy, Tunahan. Like, I could not agree with that. As I said, you choose to be positive or negative when you wake up in the morning. And I know plenty of people, that wake up on the negative Nelly side, and they're not fun to be around. You don't want to be around. It brings the vibe down so much. So this is so much about surrounding yourself with good people that lift you up and inspire and encourage you. And this man right here is that person for me. So I just want to share a fun story. And if you guys have been reading my Tisha taught my Rule of Life lessons, I've been releasing them pretty much every single Monday for the last 40 or so weeks. And I shared this story, and you'll see Mario pop up in a lot of my stories, in fact. And Mario was there when I booked my very, 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 very first paid speaking gig. And no, it wasn't a ton of money. It was $175. And this is the man that he knew me when I wasn't getting paid a dime. Like, I wasn't getting paid anything to speak. And here I had just gotten this $175 check. And I was like, Mario, let's go have lunch. Let's just go crazy. and I was like, it's my treat. He's like, it's $175. Don't you want to save that? And I was like, no, like I want to take you out to lunch and celebrate because
That
this is
was the
huge for
bet on
me.
me conversation. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So
Yeah.
when I talk about it's so
That was the
important for
bet
you
on
to,
me conversation that we had.
yes, yes,
I remember
exactly.
that very
So
well.
that was the bet on me. I was toying with, do I invest in myself and do I bet on me? And do I leave the job that I have and put my all into speaking and teaching and encouraging and mentoring? Or do I just have that self-talk that says, I'm not worthy of this. I can't do this. And instead of doing that, I looked to Mario, who was like, bet on you every time, every single time. And I was like, you're right. I'm going to bet on me. And I got that gig, then more gigs, then more gigs. But the $175, it's long gone because we had a pretty good lunch. But I mean, he's just like, are you sure you want to go to lunch? And I'm like, yes, I do. Like, I am so much about celebrating what has just happened because this is a
Yeah.
huge milestone and a stepping stone in my life. And you were there for it. And I'm going to get all like teary eyed, Mario, because this is what you do. But I just want to say thank you. Like,
Well,
thank you so much.
you are welcome. I saw a level of authenticity within you, and you were really fighting your inner self. And
Oh, yeah.
part of it was solving that happiness formula. And I remember looking at you very well and just saying, "Hey, you know the words that I used, right?" And I said, "Bet on you." And ever since then, you have just taken off. And I think part of mentoring someone is the visualization of seeing that mentoring come to fruition, because the mentee and the mentor both benefit from it. And it
Mm-hmm.
inspired me also to like, hey, you talk it, you walk it, bet on me. And so that's been my mantra for the longest time. And out of necessity became a joy. And I remember vividly and seeing the light bulb come on in you, and from there you just took off like a rocket. So I'm very humble and very excited and looking forward to seeing exactly what you're going to be doing in the future, because you're killing it, and that's a good thing.
Thank you, Mario. Honestly, tears. I'm like wiping my eyes right now. And I
I gotta
distinctly
turn
remember
that.
if you if you guys look at those rule of life lessons, they're on my blog. I remember Mario, you remember we go to lunch a lot. Mario and I do because he's just good company. And we were sitting in Oregano's and he's always good about just like pushing me out of my zone, out of like start believing in you, start betting on you. And one thing I think that really catapulted me was when you said, Mario, and you're going to remember this, that you are the motherfucking brand. Like, yes, it's my show. I'm gonna cuss. Maybe StreamYard didn't care for that, or Facebook or LinkedIn, but I was like, oh my gosh! Like we're sitting in a restaurant, and this guy. That point got across. I know, in a real quiet restaurant, he's like, Tisha, when are you gonna realize you are the motherfucking brand? And I'm like, shit. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Sometimes the most direct, harshest way is the most impactful way to get the point across. And I wanted to emphasize to you how important it was for you to adopt that mantra, to start really believing in yourself, not just, saying it as a passing by, having lunch with me, but to walk it, to have that behavior when you left that restaurant from that day on, to understand that it's okay to say no to some things because you're betting on you, and you have to be able to choose, and more importantly, decipher which is important for you to do along your path. And you have followed this thing to a T, and I just sit there and I'm saying, wow, if I could just brand it now and sell it to the world, I'd be all right. But you have really taking these lessons to heart and really emphasize it. And again, I could never be more proud of you because you've walked it, and walking it is very, very important in the world that I live in. It's easy to talk it, but it's walking. Some of the comments that you heard from people, they're all admitting the choice of happiness is their own. And we all have those moments when we don't feel happy about ourselves. Every month when I pay bills, it's not a good time, but I try to smile when I pay the bills because it's important to have that self happiness and that mindset of I choose to be happy. And that I'll never forget that lunch that day in Oregano's because you literally took it and ran with it. For me, in my world, it was a massive home run, and I'm glad to be a small part of it. So, thank you.
Oh, thank you. All right, we have a couple of comments from Dwight, who is on YouTube. Says, "Love it, love it. I'll bet on you and Mario. I want to get the book, and I will read Tish's chapter first." All right, and then of course he writes here, "Let's schedule a lunch for the three of us, and I can get the book signed by both and personally delivered."
You
Yes,
got it. You
absolutely.
got it.
Especially since you're here local, Dwight. Like
Yeah.
Mario's
Yeah.
up by the Biltmore area, and you know
Yeah.
where I am, so we can always
Yeah.
meet up.
Yeah.
Look at that, connections all around, and
Yeah.
book sales
Yeah.
for you, Mario.
Yeah. All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Well, I hope you have had as much fun as I have had and Mario has had on this live stream. This has been a fun one. I
It
really
has.
wanted to do something around the topic of self-love, just seeing everything going on in the world and how people are not treating themselves with love and respect and value and their worth. And things dwindle down. And this is a good chance to really pump people up and say, you know what? It starts with you. It starts with your happiness. And if you're not happy, ask yourself, what makes me happy? The simplest things. I'll
Mhm.
tell you, for me, the happiest thing that I do lately, Mario, is I go to Froyo with my kids once a month on a Wednesday because it's Waffle Wednesday. It's like free waffle. Shout out to Menchie's. Shout out to Menchie's. But I love it. And I usually have a coupon. Like I usually have like a buy one, get one. But the kids love it. I love it. It's memories that we're making, and it's so small. Like it's such a small gesture, but that makes me happy. So Froyo makes me happy. Froyo makes me happy. My kids make me happy. Seeing their smiles, seeing them get free waffle cones makes me happy. Like simple, simple, simple things make us happy. Mario, you
Yeah.
make me happy, friend,
Well,
and I
that's the
adore you.
thank you. You make me happy. That's the thankfulness and gratitude. Thank you.
All right. Okay. And yes, Mary, we are all in Arizona. So Dwight Lamb, who is on, Tunahan is not. He's in Turkey. But Mario, myself, and Corey, we're all in Arizona. Yes. So yeah. Thanks for asking
Corey's in
that
New York.
question. Oh, is he in New York?
Corey's in New York. Absolutely. Yeah. Corey's
Oh.
in New York. He's in the
Oh, it's
book also.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus is
Wow.
here. Yes, Corey's in New York. So hi, Corey. I've
Right.
never met Corey. I've never met
Yeah.
Corey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marcus is here. I was like, oh, I know. There's
Yeah.
two brothers. Okay, so yes, Corey in New York, Marcus in Arizona, and
Yeah.
yes, we are here. And Dwight, let's see one more thing from Dwight, and then we'll start to wrap this up. You can only love others as much as you first love yourself. You can't
Bingo. Very
give.
true.
Oh, that's so true. You can't give what you don't have.
Very
That is a
true.
great ending to this segment. And Mary, yes, she said she's going to be in Arizona in January. So that's awesome. Awesome to hear. We're all here. So yeah, we'll have to do a little get together. But thank you so much, Mario. I appreciate
Thank
you. I
you.
appreciate your
Great.
time. And
See
to
you
everybody
soon.
who is tuning in live and on the replay, you can watch it again and again if you just like Mario and I going back and forth, bantering back and forth. But this is such a great topic on self-love, and we hope all of you take this seriously. Self-love is needed. It's not just we give ourselves some self-love. We give ourselves a lot of self-love, all the self-love we can give ourselves, because that is really what fuels us to keep moving forward, to helping other people, to being our best selves. So, Mario, always a pleasure.
Always. Thank you. Remember, the glass is not whether it's half full or half empty, but what's in the glass.
What's in the glass? What's in your glass, Mario?
A little later today, a glass of scotch, but that's good.
I think I'm going with red wine. I'm
There
going
you
with
go.
some red wine.
There you
All right,
go.
it's been a long week, but
It's fun.
happy early Friday and happy early weekend, Dwight. Again, happy birthday, sir.
Happy
And
birthday, Dwight.
so happy that your grandkids and your kids spoiled you rotten today for breakfast. That is amazing, amazing. That I'm sure it makes you over the moon happy. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday for another Tisha Talks Live at 4:45. Bye, Mario. Happy holidays
Bye.
to everybody. We'll see you
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye.